All right, welcome back. Let's see where we're at with renting and with being an owner renting out cards and see what's going on Peak Monsters and on Splinterlands. But first, let's start it off by claiming cards from the last season. Looks like we get to claim 50 reward chests. We're at 22,000 DEC. Now, what happened? That didn't go up a lot last season, but I didn't play a lot and I was still paying for my rentals, but it went up. I didn't play, I still paid, and it still went up. And we haven't even claimed these 50. And I didn't do a sneak quest on the last 3 or 4 days of the season. And as you can see, it's several days into the new season, and I had yet to claim my rewards. So here we go. 50 rewards, pretty good. I'm expecting to see more of these dark energy crystal options because I think more reward cards went out of print. They met their max level and they went out of print. I'm just hoping that I don't see too many at 14. I'd like to see more at like 1,000. And a gold card. Nice. Makes it kind of all worthwhile, doesn't it? Very nice. I mean, it's not all worthwhile. I still hope to see much more cards. Now, the quests, well, the potions, I should say, are actually pretty cool because you got Chaos Legion coming out in maybe a month. 218, that's great. They're all kind of common cards so far, which isn't amazing. Oh, I speak and it happens. We're going to go a little bit faster because we're seeing some pretty low numbers. We got 2 good cards and 1 good dark energy crystal. It's not amazing so far. That's a lot of dark energy crystals in a row, and they were all kind of bad. This one's like, all right. It's our last 2 rows. The gold card really was a little bit of a lifesaver there. And that is awesome. 1,300 and a 218. So that's awesome. Good way to end it. We're up to 24,000. And then next thing we do, because this account is fully a rental account, okay? So let's log out here and log in Peak Monsters to that account. And let's go to bulk view. And yeah, so let's see. At the very end, I tested, this was a test and it didn't work. So I need to send these back to Jarvie. It was a test that I did like a day or 2 ago after the season ended. Okay, so we've got owned cards. We've got about $13 worth. We are going to sell them in the market. Always use this low buy is my suggestion for 1 BCX cards. So I'm going to list them for 2% above whatever they are in the market because I don't think I'm playing anytime terribly soon. So they'll just kind of get sold eventually as prices go up, perhaps. And I'll end up with whatever that is, $13, $14 worth of DEC. So it'll go up 10% or something, a couple thousand more DEC. So that's awesome. I am curious, and I think you guys are probably curious. Let's check the state of the rental market. I have no cards really, except for the ones I just won. We are going to see what it would cost to get into the max level leagues, diamond leagues. So I noticed that these were very high at the end of last season, like 20 was the lowest card you could find. But here, that would be amazing. That would be really amazing. Sometimes that good of a price is just gone in seconds, but it's still there. If I was into renting right now, I'm not going to be playing anytime too soon. I'm not playing this season because I'll be traveling. Maybe it's a good time to play. I don't know. Just haven't made up my mind yet, so I still have 10 days to play. Um, One thing is that the end of last season, I didn't rent on the last day, and so I had no cards, and so it dropped me down into bronze, which is strange. It may have been a bug, or it may have been how things are handled. Um, and I knew I was going to get the season end reward stuff, so I didn't bother renting on that last day. And see how it's somewhat of an exploit. Well, it's something that they're just changing. It's not that I was an exploit. Um, but now I know in the future, just to make sure, if I have a lot of pending rewards here, that I should make sure that or here, and make sure I'm a higher league. And it may be worth renting because, as you could see, I just earned $13. So it was probably worth spending at least $5, maybe 1,000 DEC. Just spend 1,000 at the end to make sure that I was at Diamond League. So I don't think it would have even taken that much. So there you go. There's another little update. As far as if I were playing in bronze, this would be my price. So you go here. I happen to know that the levels for bronze are 3, 2, 2, 1 is the max level. So if we sort by that, we could see that actually renting would not cost us much at all. And maybe it's a fun reset for me to go back and play with bronze for a little bit and see how it goes. So, I mean, let's go check out what the summoner costs are, and that just seems ridiculously low. So I think I'm going to rent that one for I don't know, 10 days until the end of the season. I guess 11. See if they cancel or not. I don't know why there's a broadcast transaction failure. That was weird. Um, Super strange. What just happened? Okay. And refreshing gets rid of these things, just so you know, if you hit that refresh button. So it's not like the best of experience, but just FYI. I just wanted to make sure that that was going to work the way I thought it would. And let's go into monsters and see if there's any crazy things that would be crazy not to rent for a bit. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll jump in if I spend 180, 1 DEC on these. Um, it's and I don't end up playing. It's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world at all. So the other thing is, maybe I've got a red splinter. So let's just click on fire and let's see what it would be. Oops, there's nothing there. It seems like red could be expensive to do. So that maybe is not the best. How about, a cutthroat for 1.5? Oh, of course it's not available. Who'd be crazy enough to do that? Who'd be crazy enough to do that? There is no level 3. Let's see, level 3s. Of course there's level 3s. I was looking for level 2s for a second. 0.48. So that's why I kind of want to grab when I see some decent things available. And none of these are available. Yeah, as you can see, they weren't available. And that one is. And Peaceful Giant. And okay, I'm going to grab those for a couple days. So I'm into this for like 4 or 5 DEC for renting at bronze. And I'm still not entirely sure if I'm going to continue or not. So we shall see. I also have the level 1 summoners, so I could try playing even at level 1 instead of the level 2s here. But let's do this again, and let's go through my list of favorites. Because if I do want to start playing, I do want to make sure that I have some of my favorites or really interesting cards to play with. I do like the Horny Toad for certain games. And the tower could be nice. Ifrit would have been nice if it was available. But click on it and it's not available. And the lowest is 0.5. So twice of what I just saw. So, all right. I'm going to grab that one for 2 days at least. Give me some time to think about it. Maybe I'll keep jumping in over the course of the next day to try to get these cheap rentals. And then I'll maybe start playing at that point. Now, let's move over into an owner's deck. And let's see what's going on over there. So we ended last season at like 50, 60,000 DEC. And the beginning of the early season is way lower, 36. In fact, I think it went up to 39 yesterday, and then it's down. So we may have more renters. We may have more renters adjusting their prices. Not exactly sure. The ROA is going down, but what you have to remember about ROA is that return on asset, not return on your investment. It's the return on the present value of your asset. So the present value of these assets keep going up and up. So this number will go down even if you're making the exact same amount. Okay? So what I normally do as an owner going through this is I click on, I don't want to see the cards that I have on the market, which I have listed a few. And because they're not good for renting, like they have a low rental return and they're really high priced. So I'm like, okay, I will sell those and then buy other cards to rent. Does that make sense? So what I do here is I click on BCX to find any of those cards that I've probably canceled recently, and now they're available again. Okay. So I'm going to rent these and hit the magic load button. It's going to find me a good price on these. And then I feel like that's just so high. So I want to double check on this. Well, I don't know. It seems high to me. And I do know that the Ulrich is always high. So that's fine. And then Frost Giant seems extra high to me. I'm going to go down a lot. And it may not be enough to get it rented out, but we'll see. Spirit of the Forest, level 3, I don't know, probably pretty good. So we're going to rent those. I also check to see if any golds are around. There we go. And then if there's any legendaries, not necessarily legendary golds, but how about all of these guys? Let's try them out. So let's rent these, hit the magic load button, and okay, that looks good. These Cyclops seem really, really low. I don't want to be pricing against a mistake one, but they just are really, really low. So what I'm going to do, 4% just isn't that great. These are all, they're whatever. I mean, maybe they're good prices or not. The Vigilator seems a little bit low. I can just double check. Yeah, I don't want to beat this one when there's such a big gap between the two. So I'm going to do 11.5, 11.75, And I'll leave the other one to get rented at the lower amount. Maybe I'm wrong. And as you see that I deleted those other two, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So we're going to go into into the market. That's where we're going to go. We're going to go into the market and we're going to look for, was it the Cyclops? So we're going to do a search here, and it's just that these prices are so high. So this is a rare beta. Now, how does that rare beta compare? That's the question. So we've got gold, beta, rare. And we're looking at the rest are 75, 80, 180, 190, 200, 300, and then all of a sudden 600. And it's a level 1, so 750. So it just seems so high. So the market value on some of these has been 200. Now the low buys are 200, even on the highest of these cards. So I'm thinking I'm going to open up my collection now, and I'm going to go to my beta golds, give it a moment to load. There's my beta golds, and I'm going to scroll down to the Cyclops. There's my two cards. And I think I am going to just sell it if it's going to be. Obviously, I can beat that price by a lot. I can make it like one of the cheapest, like the next cheapest card on the market and halve the price. May still not get sold, but I'm not making much off of the rental, so it's worth a shot, I suppose. So we're going to sell it for $350. So it's on for $750, and now there's a warning saying, "Are you sure? Because someone else is trying to sell it for $750, and you want to do $350." And I say, "Yeah, let's sell that bad boy. It may go up, but at least I'll earn DEC when I sell this, and I mean, there's a lot of benefits." I'm going to sell the other one for, maybe it was a mistake listing it for that low. So I could do the other one for $450 and kind of hedge it. So there we go. So I could do that with quite a few cards. This is how I would do it. I would go into, just a second. All right, so let's find some other ones that I can replicate what I just did, but maybe with cards that aren't getting rented. So for rent, but not delegated. Okay, so here's all the cards that are for rent, but not delegated. Let's go to these really low price rentals. So I think I want to keep my Archmage. The Corrupted Pegasus just got rented 1.5 days ago at 900, which is still brings it at a low value here. I don't know, like chromatic dragon that's maxed. I could just sell. What are some obscure ones? I got rid of a lot of the low ones, but maybe the chromatic dragon alpha. I just don't know if it's going to sell. I'm trying to sell a few other chromatic dragons. It's obviously not a super popular card to purchase right now, but it's up in value. And one of the things is it's going to have value, especially when land comes out and then you can have an alpha working on the land, like a max alpha working on the land. It's probably going to be a really good thing to have. But my thinking is I could sell this bad boy and then buy a few other cards. You know what I mean? So the Peak Rider, obviously I'm going to keep because it's kind of named after us. So I just am not seeing too many cards that I think I should sell. I mean, if I thought I could sell the Shinlo, obviously it's also a rare card. I don't really want to sell that rare of a card. And then we go quickly up into, oh, these are all just legendaries. Oh, interesting. All right, well, let's look. I want to keep a lot of legendaries. This giant rock hasn't been rented in forever. It's super expensive at 150 a day. It's 3 ROA. I think I'm just going to unlist it and try to sell it. Let's see here. Serpentine Soldier doesn't get rented either. And why isn't this Liana getting rented? That's interesting. Let's just try to sell her then, I guess. And this one got rented. I don't think this one's worth trying to rent. Probably worth trying to sell that guy. And then these stone splitters are max level, I think, and I have 2 of them. I think it's just maybe time to try to sell them. So we're going to stop renting, and they don't have people that are renting them out. So they're going to be immediately available to try to sell. Okay. So let's look at the giant rock. Let's type in, I believe it's an alpha. Let's do this, rock. And let's get rid of rare. $650. I believe it's a common. So what I want to do now is look at all of the commons. I think we already looked through this list previously. I mean, we've got some going for $445, 800, but what are they actually being sold for? 140, 130, 150, 350, but we know that that's a crazy scenario. 250, 290. So if we think that this is going to be a really good opportunity, maybe we could do it just under the price of the other ones. So we're going to take this, we're going to calculate, and I'll use a calculator here, 240 times 19. So, I mean, that will be pretty cool if we sell it, but it may not sell, but it wasn't being rented either. So we're going to go, it says 4560. Oh, we don't want to rent it. We want to sell it. So we're going to go 450. And it's just going to say, hey, there's a lot of other cards trying to be rented for a lot more than that one. Okay. The next one, if we sort here, was, oh, that's interesting. Still processing those, so we need to hit the refresh. Why isn't it done processing? Let's refresh this whole thing and see if there is maybe an error. Maybe I didn't sign for something. So no, no, and no. Now it's going to look through all those cards, which there's like 27,000. And let's sort. Okay, so we got that stone splitter. So alpha, rare, not gold. So regular, rare, alpha. So it is the stone splitter at 930. Do we want to sell it? It seems a lot lower than, it's kind of right in the middle of the pack. We've got some going for 20, 11, 10, 930 actually could be good. I know it's not the best of cards. We've got 2 of them. It's not renting for a good price. So let's sell it and buy one that rents for a better price. So it's not like I'm ditching, you know what I mean? So let's take 9 times 86, 774. And we've got the other one. We could try to rent that one. We're still trying to rent it, I should say. We're going to do 770 for this card. And there we go. And then we've got the Serpentine Soldier Alpha. So this is just kind of, these are big ticket items. We're spending a little bit more time researching instead of using the bulk sell. Okay. We could do the bulk sell, but we're not. So the Serpentine Soldier, 640. It seems listed middle of the road. Some are way higher, but they're that's like not a real listing, obviously. So it's kind of in the middle. It can go down to 300, which looks like an amazing purchase opportunity, to be honest. That seems like a good opportunity. Everything else is so much higher. Let's go and see what these are renting for. Oh my gosh, 1,000%. Oh, that's not real. Let's look at the other level threes. Oh, let's go to the top. 58% based on $366. 79. It's a magic card, which usually means that they are a little more popular. So I could get it and maybe do 50%. Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like a good opportunity. I could get the level 5 version, or I could just grab these two. You know what? We're going to do that. I think it's pretty good. I think it's, I may be too hasty. It's a big purchase. Everything else, oh, well, 400s. I guess it's not that much lower than the others at 390, at 400, technically, this one. Um, How much are the beta versions? Oh my gosh, they dropped down like crazy. 180. So I don't know if the alphas are, I mean, it's probably going to go up, but it's going to be hard to sell them and hard to rent them. And we do not have data from Splinterlands as to what these cards are being rented from. So there is no API. It may take, I don't know, could take 2 weeks for them to get around to doing the API to show us what they're renting for. But back to the task at hand. What are these going to be sold for? Some 450, 400. These are what the prices that they're actually being sold for. 750, 350, 450. I mean, if we were to get 390 at the 400 that I was about to spend, sounds pretty good. So I think that I am willing to come in here and sell this 5 times 450, 2250. It's like selling a car, a used car, I should say. 2290. How about that? And they're going to say this is a crazy price to sell it for. I'm aware it's way cheaper than the others. Okay, so we've listed those two. We'll see if they get sold. I can also show you market history that I have sold a couple of cards. I purchased a lot. You can see I bought a lot of a legendary and a lot of a summoner. And then I sold a few alpha, 2 alphas and 2 betas. Then I bought this pirate captain through a bid. It looks like quite the mistake. 1 cent. They probably wanted to sell that for $5. Probably would have been better. Bids are awesome though. Okay. So, and I don't win bids hardly ever anymore because everyone has outbid me. But for some reason, I won that one. Okay. So there we go. I mean, some of these cards for a decent amount, and I am bringing in some with rentals, but I think you'll probably find it interesting to go out and buy some cards. What would be the strategy for buying? And so I like looking at legendaries, and I like looking at all of them. Like, what is the cheapest legendary? The Spirit Grog is 27, but let's see that 19 opportunity. I'd have to combine it with one more card. Or I could buy this one for 50 cents more. I wouldn't have to combine. There's 3 of them. It's ready to rent. That looks like a good opportunity at $20. But let's see at level 2, 68%, way listed below that. We're not seeing the 100% options much anymore. So I have this one listed at 100%, and I'm like way down in the rankings. There's 5 or 6 ahead of me, not too far ahead of me, but instead of 111, it's 91%. I don't know. I'm feeling it, and the risk isn't super high because of, if we go back to card listing, these are high, $20, and then it jumps. And then let's compare it to what else is in the neighborhood. Everything else is way higher. So this is an easy purchase here. If I have one more card, this would also be an easy purchase. And probably even this card. It will be available in 4 days. So, to be honest, I think we're going to grab all of them. And it's like almost my whole entire earnings from renting for the day. That is decent amount of monies. But what we want to do is now go to collection, and we're going to go to rewards, and we're going to go to legendaries. And having that card not fully combined up to the next level is just not a good idea. So we're going to combine the 2 with a 1, but there is no 1 available. We could also combine... we need to stop renting one of these. How about this one? Okay, so we're going to stop renting. Looks like we're renting out quite a few at the 80% mark. So it's done us well. It has done us well. So we're going to add the 3, this one and this one together. And now we'll have 3 level 2s with 3 BCX on each. All right, and now we're going to refresh because might as well enter all 3 of these into the renter market. How about that? How about that? Oh, the refresh did not work. Maybe the combine didn't work. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, no, they're all combined. It's the refresh that didn't work. There, now they all worked. It maybe just took the blockchain a little bit. I'm going to shift click to grab all 3 of them, and we're going to hit the rent. We're going to hit the magic load button, and it's going to price them there. And then we're going to do 21 and 19 and 17. So just kind of ordered down. We're not going to try to beat the 15. And there we go. So someone else will rent before we do. May take a day, may take an hour, maybe in 5 minutes that this thing is rented out. Okay, so I think that was probably pretty fun for you guys to watch. So I'm going to look again. This Cambio is, I bought at $20, if you remember that list right here. So it's 28 now. Remember here, the market history shows that I bought them all at 20. I thought this is a good deal. So decent track record there. Decent track record. The other thing is legendaries. Let's go. Oh, sorry, summoners. How about legendary summoners? Now this looks like a great deal compared to 69 versus 130, 50 versus 85. 85 is intriguing. Do a lot of people want Lear deep swimmers? It looks like 140, 40%. Doesn't look like super high, but this could go up. So it's a possible, but I want slam dunks. If I'm going to go in, a lot of these are probably like all the prices are probably going to raise anyways. So most of this could be fine. But I want some slam dunks. I want things that are just crazy priced. Like, look at all these legendaries that are higher than the Prince Reinin. Does that mean that the Prince Reinin is underpriced at $1,500? There's a $200 gap here. And it is in cooldown for 4 days, so that's unfortunate. But let's look at card rental prices. Level, it's not great. It's not great. 23% isn't a slam dunk. There are no level 3s available. I think that's what I was looking for. Yeah, level 3. So maybe I could be the first one to rent out a level 3. $300. I mean, the Yoden Zaku is only $100 more. Wouldn't that be more profitable to get? I'm not sure. It seems like, oh, and the high bid is 440. It seems like it could be a good opportunity. Could be. I'm not sold on it. But I think I'm going to give it a try. It's 205,000 DEC. 205,000 DEC is a lot for me, even. But Prince Reinin, I could have a Prince Reinin. I don't think I have any. I think I sold them a long time ago for like $40 a piece. So, but a good opportunity is now. Doesn't matter your mistakes in the past. Now, Chancius, though, at 177. Let's actually delete that for a second and look here. So is it going to make us get the full? Oh, no, we could get this for 1,000. We could get the level 3 for 1,000. 2,000, we could get the higher one. All right, so let's take a look. 37%. Level 3's 50%. I don't know. I don't know about this one. It's hard. These aren't slam dunks. I'm getting distracted by my mission, which is slam dunk. Like really high level 1s, man. If you could find level 1s at $300 a piece, that would be awesome. But they aren't around. They're $700 a piece. So I'd be the only level 3. That could be interesting, and I could just list it for 100%. But then maybe that would price it above 295. Let's go crazy. We haven't been crazy in a while. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts, and let's make it exciting for you guys. I just purchased a $1,500 card. I just listed a $6,000 and a $2,000 card, so hopefully those get sold. I'm not banking on them getting sold, but all right. So now the next cheapest is $500, and now I know that one was in cooldown, but let's still try to rent it out so that it's rented by the time things happen, I guess. So let's see what hasn't been rented. And that's one. And we are going to rent it. What if we did 90%? Ooh, ouch. What if we did 250? Ouch again. But let's do 280. Maybe in the 4 days that it takes for this to be out of cooldown, these will all have been rented out. And so then 280 will be pretty good. It wasn't maybe, it's not a slam dunk. It was kind of a mistake purchase. It's not, it's not a mistake. I did want Prince Renan. I now have two, it looks like. And I have one rented out at 310. So that's cool. Um, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. So are you interested in what my highest rentals are? Seven. Oh, well, I want to see just the ones that are actually rented. 449 Valimir. And then the hype cards are not being rented right now. Beginning of season, things go down. That's too bad. Okay, so I showed you renting. I showed you owner listing for rentals. I showed you purchasing, and I mean, I've showed so much: combining, listing, researching, buying, all that stuff. I think that was a good show, and I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye.